If I knew where God was going to take me, I wouldn't have gone with him. I wouldn't have wanted to be consistent with him. I wouldn't have wanted to stay connected to the vine because it's painful. So God has to microdose our suffering throughout life. And all along the way, he's saying, I'm with you. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. He has given us a manuscript on how to move on this earth and the response of heaven that is backing you, those whom he has given. There are certain scripts in the Bible that doesn't only just apply to his children, but all of creation. Principles, these are spiritual principles that if you would just put into practice, put into place. Right now, we're watching entrepreneurs, Christian entrepreneurs. We're watching just people in general put themselves out there. And I want you to remember this, that God gives you divine inspiration. God primarily speaks through imagination. If you go to the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. So God created man, that man is spirit, in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female now, the earthly bodies. He created them, and God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over it, the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed, that it is on the face of the earth, of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And as the scriptures continue to go on, you can see the power that was given to us before Adam was even physically on this earth. He said, before you was in your mother's womb, Jeremiah, I knew you. What God is saying to us is that before the foundations of this world, our spirit was a part of God. And he wanted to make us into humans, having his divine image. And what takes place is that people think that he was just speaking to Adam, who was the first male that walked this earth. But what God was saying is directly to us. And so what happens throughout the years that you see, God gives you ideas, yes? Whoever so takes those ideas, writes them down. Those ideas are vision. When he writes those visions down and make them plain, be detailed, be specific. Everything that God has showed you, if God has showed you driving a Lamborghini that was red, parked outside of a car that was all white, and it had black black window finishing, you need to write that vision down and make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. And God is the one that is going to run after it. He is going to send divine helpers, angels, and other people, his voice on this earth to help it come to pass. It is not you that is doing it by yourself. He just needs your obedience. He needed your mind to write the vision down. He gave the imagination to you. But so many people have their wealth stored up by the wicked. The righteous has their wealth stored up by the wicked, and they don't know how to get the transfer. I am here to transfer that wealth to you today. If you hear what I'm saying, if you believe what I'm saying, if you're coming into agreement with what I'm saying, you should be jumping for joy right now. If anyone has ever witnessed me during a live TikTok, then you have seen God move. So don't take anything that I'm saying here lightly. I'm telling you, by this year, if you don't start writing down those visions that God gives you, God will continue to let people frustrate you because they have your wealth. It is called a holy agitation. He will not let you settle for less than what He's designed you to have. And He said in the beginning, I bless them. One time when God poured out a blessing that you don't have room to receive, but you have to take that blessing. You have to believe that all of you has to be aligned. Your spirit, your soul, and your body must all be aligned and believe and have faith that you are blessed. And you start operating in that position that you are blessed. Your dialogue is blessed. Your mindset is blessed. That all your body ever knows is I'm blessed and highly favored. So when something comes about like COVID or some kind of sickness or virus, because all of you are in complete alignment, there's nothing in you that doubts. He never told us when you pray, doubt and it shall happen. He said, no, once you pray, you can't even pray until you fully believe. You have to believe what you're praying. If not, heaven doesn't respond to doubt. Heaven responds to power, love, and a sound mind, which is discipline. Heaven responds to names that are mentioned in the Lamb's book of life. Heaven responds to certain names, and not everyone carries that name. My Prophet Lowy, was speaking on this. If you want to, I'm not speaking on the kingdom names and if your names are mentioned in heaven, because not everyone is. If you want to go back and listen to that podcast, he might have it on a podcast at this point, that sermon, go back to YouTube and type mentioned in heaven, Prophet Lowy, and he will lay it out completely for you. But everyone is given ideas throughout the year. It is up to you to work it. Work it. And all the work that you have to do is write the vision. And then when God gives you another vision, go back and write that vision down. And when God continues to give, you are going to have a vivid imagination at that point. And what is going to take place is your vision will come to pass, because it's a vision that is divine and is coming from heaven. It shall be so. It shall come pass for you if you want it, but you have to be totally aligned. Let there be no doubt in you. Don't let another year go past where God has given you an idea to start a trucking business, start a podcast, start a YouTube, start speaking, start creating, start a subscription business, do this and do that and do this and do that. If you don't do that this year, you don't get to complain about someone else reaping your harvest when you never sowed your seed.